So I'm here today to talk a little bit about my trans journey. So it's been 3 days, 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 4 seconds since my last shot of tea. And I know I made a vlog an hour ago, and I just wanted to track the changes. I mean, I can totally feel my emotions. Like, I don't really feel like I have any anymore, actually. So, I mean, I think that's what being a guy is like. So yeah, been watching some porn. Watching some babes. And so I guess that's what I have to say about my journey over the last hour. And I'm just really glad to give this information to YouTube, especially with non-trans people, because I think that there are so many non-trans people out there interested in the hour-to-hour journey and story that I have to share. I'll check back in at 3 days, 2 hours, 29 minutes, and 3 seconds. Tell me about your journey. That's what I want to know.
I hate when people talk about their journey. I went to the store. I took a journey into San Francisco.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going in.
You know, it's been my 4,117th week on T.
Yeah, my hair's falling
I've
out.
got some hair growth on my shoulders. Got delicate, wispy tendrils. It's sexy.
I have a hard time seeing my transition as a journey at all, unless, I mean, it would be a really short distance between one point being a very effeminate, girly man into a strange, effeminate, mannish woman queer person, and I'm really excited to come out the other end of this journey tunnel and be a brand new person where I can just look at my past life as a bald, effeminate man and look at my new life as a very masculine, bald woman and see that all that money I spent on nothing was really worth it. That's an intense journey.
That is intense.
Mm-hmm. I'm scared of my future sometimes because I think my life's going to change so much.
That's a hard part of this journey to manhood.
I love journeys to manhood.
This journey to 2 inches of manhood.
My dick is 2 inches long too, and it's not much to write home about. It's not really spectacular. I've never been impressed with it.
How do people measure that? I was like,
Where do you stop measuring it? You can keep going. Push!
I know. It's like
It hurts.
Start asking the people of YouTube. Do you really bust out a tape measure and measure it? I want to know these things.
I feel like size isn't like, I feel like it's the wiggle room you should brag about.
Every little thing I do never seems enough.
So I know that some trans people say that they wouldn't trade being trans for anything, and I have to say that I would trade it. I would prefer to be cisgendered and hopped. That would be fine.
Guess what? It's gonna be me.
I would also trade all of my worldly possessions, my intelligence in a heartbeat, being a banana farm owner. I don't even know what that means.
Being an authentic transgender person, I knew that I wanted to be a transsexual when I was a kid, and I still think that I would trade being a transsexual for maybe being able to get hired at jobs that I apply for. That would be neat, and it would be cool to be able to trade being a transsexual for mostly jobs. Mostly jobs. Jobs are so cool. They're really good to have, and as much as what being a transsexual has gotten me in life, I wish it could get me a job.
Like, I didn't figure it out until I was like 4 or 5. And I just felt so tortured for those years before that. And what really struck me was I had the John Cougar Mellencamp album, I had it on tape. And, you know, it just struck me. Like, I saw John Cougar Mellencamp on the cover, and I just thought, like, that is the woman I want to be. Like, I want to be that pretty. I want to be as pretty as her. I just realized that, oh my God, I am a transsexual, and I knew exactly what that meant, and I was scared. But luckily I'm so brave that it only took me like 18, 20 years to like do something about it, which was good because I'd hate to be not brave, because bravery is all I've got, because I certainly don't have job security or like financial support.
I would trade. I just want to be a trans guy.
I would trade being a trans woman for being a trans guy in a fucking heartbeat. I would be a trans man so fast, and I would be a great trans man. I mean, I'm practically a trans man already. I guess this is a good time to announce it. My plan for transition, my plan for my journey as a trans person, is that once I pass 100% as a cisgendered woman, I'm going to transition back to being a man. I'm going to become a trans man.
2 inches. You're going
And yeah, I'm going to get those 2 inches back. Like, I'm going to be stealth.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a stealth trans man. I'm not going to divulge my status as a trans woman when I'm a trans man. After I transition to being a trans man, in my like late 70s, I'm then going to transition to being a trans woman, and then hide my history as a post-trans man, post-trans woman. Basically, I'm going to continue my tendency as a trans person to spin lies and misinformation and mislead people and confuse people about gender. That's my goal as a trans person, is to just keep the cycle of betrayal going as long as possible.
Damn, girl, damn, girl, damn, girl, damn, girl.
I, was not having any lower section dysphoria until I started going to the gym. I've noticed that all of the men around me have boners when they work out. And so I am actually thinking of starting a business in which I make the semi-hard packer for the gym. It's not like a complete boner, but it's a partial one. I've really checked it out.
I think the semi-hard packer is really essential to bringing those nylon track shorts to life. Like, it really just brings them to life,
Because I want it to swing too, so I wouldn't want to put. Everybody puts their packy in a jock strap, and
No,
I want
you
one
want
that
it to knock around.
I want it to knock around.
Yes.
And I want to make ones that are cut and ones that are uncut. So you have a choice.
Totally. You shouldn't have your religious preferences taken away from you when it comes to your plastic dick.
You know how when people wear the tracky pants, and they don't have underwear on clearly, but there's like a little wet spot from when they went to the bathroom.
Well, that's my lie. That reminds me of Mira's sit-to-pee device. It's just like a plate, and if you're a trans woman, it's just a plate to pee on when you squat, so your pee can get all over your toes, and you can get that experience of peeing like a woman outside. Ew, you could call that the swinger.
The swinger. Oh my gosh, I'm so gonna start a business. Swinger.
Tallywhacker.
I'm surprised there isn't one of those made, because I feel like that is like a pretty like determining factor in a man's life, of getting up in the morning, going to the coffee store, and in those shiny trackies. Because I always notice those. I'm always like, really?
It's gross.
Why don't you have briefs on? Like, put that away.
It has like a net in it to catch your stuff, but it sometimes fails.
I guess semi-hard I'd be 1 inch.
Put it in my mouth.
She said put it in her mouth.
said my mouth.
Yeah, I mean her motherfucking mouth. She said put it in her mouth. Yeah, I mean
A lot of things changed when I started transitioning, when I began my journey as a woman. But not my scatological interests, I have to say. Those have stayed the same.
What are scatological?
Poop.
Really?
Just so you know, that's poop.
Poop. My front hole is not hungry. My back hole is interested but not hungry.
It's curious.
It's curious.
I've got a really hungry hole, but I'm putting it in my mouth instead.
Would you put it in the hungry hole?
Oh, hell yeah.
Would you ride the hungry hole all
I
night?
read hungry hole. I just don't like it when the hole describes itself as hungry.
Nurse drunk people.